Hi kids, Mr. Mills here again. Today we're going to do the elements of art, the building blocks of any masterpiece we will do this year. There are 7 elements: line, color, value, shape, form, texture, and space. We're going to put these into test by doing a trading card. First of all, you grab an index card, and we only need to use half of it. So I'm going to fold it, crease it at the bottom, grab the scissors, mine have the rainbow, cut. Now I have 2 cards. In my first card, I'm going to use space. So how I'm going to do it, so I'm going to use the letter A. I'm going to make it in a big block letter. Next, I'm going to take the other, since I don't have a ruler, I'm going to take the other index card, and I need to make parallel lines. You can adjust it as far or as close as you want. What was that, Mom? Sorry. When you get done with this, we're going to use positive and negative shape. So, this first column, I want this area to be my negative space, my background. I want this part of the A to be my positive, so I'll put an X right here. The next column over will be opposite, so I'll put an X on the outside of the A. Remember to do the middle. The next one over, I want to do the A. The rest will be the negative space, and that'll be white. And then this whole block will be positive. And then we need to color it. And next what we're going to do is we're going to start coloring. I'm just going to use a black marker, Crayola. And remember where the X is. This is my positive space. So I'm going to color this. And this is when you really want to be neat and on point. So what I'm doing is I'm outlining the A first. Remember, after this one, the next one over, we color the opposite, so this will all be black. The next one over, opposite again. The next one over. Remember, we're going to color the whole space, so I can use the side of my marker to fill in more space. Touch up a little. And this is my space. The dark area is my positive space. The white area is my negative space. And this is actually an optical illusion. Mom, you got to come see this. All right, the next one we're going to do is texture. There's 2 kinds of textures, implied and actual texture. There's rough, smooth, and all this. The first one we're going to actually do and use a sharpened pencil is I'm going to do a feather. I'm going to start off with a line in the middle. It goes all the way outside.
This one is interruption. They are not picking up the rest of the attendance sheets today. The rest of the attendance sheets will be picked up tomorrow. Today, they are no longer picking up attendance sheets. The rest will be picked up tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to start off slowly from the bottom and work out. Draw light until you get it right. Comes to a point at the top. Then add some other lines behind it and at the bottom on top of it to add some value to it. Remember how we went from dark to light? These are the dark lines, and you're trying to find a gradual to the white. And this is closest to the stem or whatever the long pointy thing on a feather is. Okay, I have one side done. Now let's do the other side. Okay, so I have some value in there, and I have my implied texture. Now, I want to use actual texture. So some things around the house that you could have that would have actual texture. Maybe sidewalk, maybe some wooden fence you could rub on that, or possibly even a shoe. Now I'm going to use my shoe. Now we're going to make a rubbing of it, which means we're going to place this on top of it, and we're going to rub in a motion on top of this to get this texture behind it. So here we go. I'm going to use the side of it. I'm going to go up and down. And you can start seeing the texture go right here. And it's kind of like a... Mom, what kind of texture is this?
I don't know, Milsy. I think it's actual texture.
Oh, that's it. So I keep rubbing it. And you can kind of see the design coming here. I'll do this side. And I'll do this side. Okay, now, I can't really see the feather too much, so I'm going to go over that just a little bit. So there I have it. I have implied texture and actual texture. And those are the two ones I used on this. Okay, the next one we're going to do is I'm going to use shape, which is 2D, and form, which is 3D. I'm going to first draw a vertical rectangle right here in the middle. Right now it's just a shape. I'm going to make it a form by adding a dimension to it, 3-dimensional. So I make a box right here, a box right there. I'm going to add 3 circles right here. Okay, right above it in this area, I'm going to make a pole that goes all the way across. Now, do you think that it stops right here? No, it keeps on going. I'll draw this for you. My pole would keep on going. It might end here, it might not, but it keeps on going. I'm going to connect this by adding 2 little hooks. Can anybody guess what this is? You're right, it is a stoplight, okay? Now we're going to add color. So now we have both shapes and form, which is 3-dimensional. So to color it, I'm going to add, first of all, let's go ahead and do the bar at the top, the pole. So I'm going to use hatching, which we learned earlier. And remember, that's one direction. Hatching is one direction, okay? And so I'm going to go at the bottom here. Remember, I want to go off the page. A little bit lighter in the middle because I'm using less pressure. A little bit darker. Now, I'm going to add it on this side too, the top side and the side of the box. And a box is a 3-dimensional object. So I look at it and I go, maybe a little bit darker here, so I'll make the lines a little bit closer, a little bit darker. Maybe a little bit of cross hatching, which goes across from it, the top. Okay, now I'm going to add some color to this, to the shapes. So I'm going to start off with color pencil. The 3 colors that I need are yellow, green, and red. So I'm going to start off with green, and I think that's the top one. Mom, is the top one on a stoplight green?
I don't know, Milsy. They took my license away.
All right, well, I think it is. I don't know. So remember, color this, and always color soft at first, and then you can always go in a little bit darker. So I got the green. Maybe you can see it just a little bit better. Okay, just trying to make it circular. Then I'm going to go with the yellow. The yellow, I'm going to go a little bit darker. And the reason I'm doing yellow, darker, because it's such a light hue. It's a little bit darker on the green since I did that. And I really want the red to stand out. I could color it with a color pencil, but I think what I might do is I might use a marker, okay? And that should bring it a little bit brighter. It's got a little bit more pigment to it. So if I were to come up, if I was driving, and I saw this red, really, really bright, I would know that it's a stop sign, okay? And then I need to stop. Red means stop. Okay. What else? I guess I could color in a background just so you can make it look like a sky. I'll just do it really quick. I'll go across, and I want to cover a lot of space, so I'm just going to use the side of it. I'll use a lighter blue. This is a sky blue, so that kind of works out. So I'll just color the side of it because I want to cover a full area. Go off the page if you can. And I hold the side of it because I want it to be light. I want it to be very whimsical. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for, but I don't care. Okay, so the last thing I want to do is I'll take my pencil again, and I'll go in outside, I'll crosshatch the back of it, which is this side. I'll do the top just a little bit, and then I'll go around the edge just to darken it in just a little bit. And that is my stop sign, or stoplight, using shapes, the 3 circles, and using form, which is the 3-dimensional box. All right, now we're going to look at some of the other art teachers' work. So first of all, we're going to do Miss Harrison's. Okay, so the first one we're going to look at, what do you think these are? What elements? That's right, form and line. You see the line right here, it's thicker, right? You have an implied line, which is broken up, like a trail of ants, or if you're on a highway, you see the dashed lines right there. You got curved line, curlies. You got little spring-like ones. And now this one, this box, this becomes your form. It's got shapes, but it adds 3D. Good job on this one. Next one, I'll give you a hint. This one has, that's right, space in it. And it also has really good coloring. On some areas are darker and some are lighter. Do you remember what that is? When you go to dark to light? It's value. That's right. You got all kinds of values. And it's got really good, it's almost like a radial design. It comes out from the middle. So I really like this one. And lastly, my favorite one from her is this little fuzzy guy. You almost feel like you can touch him. Look. So he's fantastic. And this one's texture, of course. Great coloring. And in the background is shapes. So this would be your positive area, and your background would be your negative. It's important, but your main focus goes to this fuzzy guy. And this is good texture. Fantastic job. Next, we have some from Miss Trenkamp. And Miss Trenkamp, her first one, she has shapes. See the trees in the foreground? And this is a silhouette. And we'll probably do silhouettes later on. But the silhouette of the trees, which is the shape, and then she added color. Now, just by looking at this, you know that it's almost nighttime or dusk because of the colors, the purples and the blues. If you were to use daytime, you would use yellows, oranges, sunrise colors. So this is a good one. This is shapes and colors. The next one is fantastic. I love this one. It has so much, I feel like it's rounded right here. This is a lemon, or this is Stewie's head. It's a lemon, okay? And it's texture. It also has a little bit of color. Which one's the strongest? See how this also has value. It's almost like a highlight, and we'll get to that later as well. But you have the bright yellows here. You have a white area here, and you have a good contrast color, which is blue. And then if you can see real close, she has one of the markings of, it's called stippling. Little dots right there. And that gives you the feeling of a kind of a rough texture, a smooth texture. It's got little pits like on a fruit. Fantastic job. Lastly is her eye. What do you think that is? Values. I love it. The reflection of it is fantastic. You got eyes right here. And most of the time people forget to do the eyebrow. This is fantastic. I love this one. The value system's really good. You got the dark right here, and as the shadow right here. And then as the mascara, just flip it up like that. So I hope you enjoyed it. And elements, and remember that they are the building blocks of all our art.